Good morning, children. Welcome to English class. Today we are going to discuss textual activities in fourth unit. Listen carefully. Read the line Came the boys like a flock of sheep from the poem Somebody's Mother. Here, have you noticed the word flock? The word flock stands for a group, that is, flock of sheep. Here, the word flock stands for a group. Now, shall we read the following passage and identify such words? Once, there was a custom in a university. If a professor was late by 10 minutes, the class was suspended. One day, a professor arrived early for a 9 a.m. class. He could see only a stack of chairs. He had a pile of books with him. He wanted to take them to the library. He kept his bunch of keys on the table and walked to the library. By the time he got back to the class, it was 9:10. The room was empty. The next day, he told his students, "When my keys are here, I am here." He kept the keys in the chest of drawers and walked down the flight of steps. The following day, he arrived at 9. He saw 28 keys on the desks and no students. Now, shall we identify the expression or word that refers to a group? Let's identify that. See, children, a stack of chairs, a pile of books, bunch of keys, chest of drawers, and flight of steps. These are the words that stand for a group. Now, look at the underlined words in the following expressions. The call of the winters, the beat of the drums, the stamp of the feet. The gate creaks open. What do these words refer to? Children, these words represent different kinds of sounds. The beat of the drum, stamp of feet, the call of the winters, the gate creaks open. All these words represent different kinds of sounds. Then, children, what are the other sounds that you are familiar with? So, make a list of such sounds. For that, read a village poem once again and find out the words that refer to sound. See, children, here which are the words given. Creak, which means short, high-pitched sound heard when something moves. Example, door, stairs, etc. So, creak, that means short, high-pitched sound when something moves. The next one, rustle. That means soft sounds made when things like paper, leaves, etc. move or rub together. It's a soft sound when things like paper or leaves move or rub together. That is rustle. The next, jingle. Jingle means it's a light ringing sound. Light ringing sound, that is jingle. Then splash. Fall in scattered drops. Splash means what? Fall in scattered drops. Then remaining words will be given as notes. Okay? Next, we are going to discuss context of simple present tense. First one, to express daily activities or habits. Children, our daily activities or habits should be said in simple present tense. Okay? You should use simple present tense when you express your daily habits or activities. Look at the example given here. I take an English course every Monday. It is a habitual action. Okay. She usually goes to school by bus. It's a habitual action. Daily activity. Look at these examples. I brush my teeth every day. It's a habitual action. John sleeps 8 hours at night every day. It is also a daily activity or habitual action. So our daily activities or habitual actions should be said in simple present tense. Okay, it should be expressed in simple present tense. Next context, to express general statements or facts. That is, to express general statements or facts, we use simple present tense. We use simple present tense. Then look at the example. The earth goes around the sun. It is a fact. It's a general fact. It is a universal fact, right? Cats catch mice. It is also a fact. Then the sun rises in the east. The sun sets in the west. Water boils at 100 degrees. Ice melts when it heats. All these are general truth or universal truth, general fact. So our habitual action or daily activities and general truth should be expressed in which tense? Simple present tense. Do you know the format of simple present tense? Subject plus V1. Okay? Subject plus V1. V1 means, V means what? That is verb, action. V1 means the base form of the verb, that is first form of the verb. So, simple present tense format, subject plus V1. Okay. Then see children, if subject is singular, that means if subject is he or she or it or singular noun, we should add s or es to the verb. If subject is singular, add s or es to the verb. Look at the examples. She sings a song. Here the subject is she, that is singular. So we add s to the base form of the verb sing. So we get sings. Is it clear? She sings a song. Okay. Then next one, he rides a bike. Here he is singular, so we add s to the verb ride. It catches a ball. It is singular, and so we add es to the verb catch. Then singular noun. Singular noun, here Ravi. Singular noun means only, noun is the naming word. Okay. Singular noun means only one. So here Ravi. Ravi is noun and Ravi is the only one. So it is singular noun. Ravi goes to the school. Is it clear, children? You should apply this while writing. Okay. When you write, when you create sentences in simple present tense, you should apply this. That is, if subject is singular, add s or es to the verb. And if subject is plural, that is I, you, they, we, plural noun. Yes, I, you, they, we, plural noun. Okay, so if subject is plural, we don't want to add s or es to the base form of the verb. We simply write that base form, that is V1 form. Okay, we don't want to add s or es. Look at the examples. I sing a song. Here I is considered as plural. So we don't want to add s or es. We just write this base form of the verb sing. Then you go to the school. They catch the ball. We ride a bike. Then teachers teach the students. So these are some examples, children. So format of simple present tense, subject plus V1. And if subject is singular, that is he or she or it or singular noun, add s or es to the verb. And if the subject is plural, that is I, you, they, we, plural noun, we don't want to add s or es to the verb. We just write this base form of the verb, V1. Okay. Then the context of simple present tense are 1. To express habitual action or our daily activities. Then to express general facts or universal truth. Is it clear, children? Now read the following short poems. First one, fog. The fog comes on little cat feet. It sits looking over harbour and city. On silent haunches and then moves on. The eagle. He clasps the crag with the crooked hands, close to the sun in lonely lands, ringed with the azure world he stands. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls. He watches from his mountain walls, and like a thunderbolt he falls. Children, say what are the actions the fog, the eagle, and the sea do here. Fog comes, sits, and moves on. Fog does the actions like comes, sits, and moves on. Then the eagle does the actions like clasps, stands, watches, and falls. Then sea does the action like crawls. Children, what do the following words suggest? That is comes, sits, moves, clasps, crawls, falls, and watches. What do these words suggest? They suggest the general nature or habits of things or people in their movements. The words are all in the simple present form. That is already we have studied now the two contexts of simple present tense. That is, one is to express our habitual actions, okay, or daily activities or habitual actions, and the second one to express general truth or general fact or universal truth. Here, these words suggest the general nature or habits of things or people in their movements. And children, have you noticed one more thing? S or es is added with all the verbs. Comes, sits, moves, clasps, crawls, falls, and watches. That means here the subject of each one is singular. That is, fog comes. Here fog is singular. That's why added yes. Then eagle clasps. Eagle is singular. Sea crawls. Sea is singular. So you have studied now that if the subject is singular, add s or es to the verb. If the subject is plural, you don't want to add s or es. Okay. Now read the given passage. The sun rises very late in this part. People wake up very late. My next door neighbor wakes up very early. Usually he gets up before 6 a.m. Then he goes to the news agents and buys the morning paper. Then he goes to the cafe, orders a cup of black coffee and reads the paper. After that, he goes for a walk around the park and then returns home. Children, can you see whether these sentences express habits or general truths? Let's see, children. First sentence, the sun rises very late in this part. We know that it is a general truth. The sun rises very late in this part. It is a general truth. Then people wake up very late. It is habitual action, habit. Then my next door neighbor wakes up very early, habitual. He gets up before 6 a.m., habitual. He goes to the news agents, habitual, and buys the morning paper, habitual. He goes to the cafe, that is habit, orders a cup of black coffee and reads the paper. He goes for a walk around the park and then returns home. That is also habit. So the first sentence, the sun rises very late in this part, is it expresses general truth, and the remaining sentences are habits. Okay, children, the first sentence is general truth and the remaining sentences are habitual. Is it clear? Let's analyze each sentence. The sun rises very late. Here rises, that is rise plus yes. So verb plus SORES means subject should be singular, that is sun. The next one, people wake up. People is plural, that's why we don't want to add SORES, that is wake. Then my next door neighbor. Neighbor is singular, that's why we add yes, that is wakes. Then he is singular, that's why gets. He gets up, he goes, buys, then orders, reads, returns. Okay, so he is singular, that's why it is added, S or es is added to the verb. Clear, children? Then, if we change neighbor into plural form, how will it be changed? Neighbor changed to neighbors. So, neighbor is singular, that's why wakes. Neighbors, it is plural form. So, if the subject is plural, you don't want to add S or es, that is neighbors wake up. Could you understand the differences? Then, if we change the subject he into plural form they, so what change we can see there? We don't want to add S or es to the verb. Here he gets, he is singular, that's why add S along with verb get. He gets. If we replace the word he by they is plural. So we don't want to add S. They get, they go, they buy, they order, they read, they return. Is it clear, children? So if the subject is singular, add S or es, and subject is plural, we don't want to add S or es to the verb. In which case? In simple present tense. Okay, in simple present tense. The format of simple present tense, subject plus V1. That is the base form of the verb. V1. Talk, listen, eat, jump, run, study. Like this. These are the first form of the verbs. So, subject plus V1. Now, let's read passage 2. Here is a lady who talks about some of her habits. I never wear churidar. I always use makeup when I go out. I wear a hat when it is cold. I wear gloves only when I wash dishes. I usually wear glasses while driving and while watching television. I don't wear jeans very often. Children, can you find out the verbs and the simple present tense? Wear, use, go, wash. Here, the subject is I, that is plural. It is considered as plural. That's why the verb is in its base form. That is, we don't want to add S or es to the verb. Wear, use, go, wash. Just V1 form because the subject is plural, so we don't want to add S or es to the verb. And children, you may have noted that the words always, never, usually, etc. in this passage. It helps us to know that the actions are regular or habitual. Okay, usually, I always, I never, all these shows or all these help us to know whether the actions are habitual or regular. Such words are called adverbs of frequency. Children, the words like always, never, usually, etc. help us to know that the actions are regular or habitual. Such words are called adverbs of frequency. The other words of such category are sometimes, often, generally, occasionally, hardly, ever, never, once a week or year, etc. So words like always, never, usually, generally, sometimes, occasionally, often, hardly, ever, never, all these help us to know that the actions are regular or habitual. Such words are called adverbs of frequency. Okay, children, let's wind up today's class. I request all of you to work out textual activities after watch this video. Thank you.